as we start our adventure with the crew of Deep Space 17 on the USS Ranger, currently they're heading back into Quathian space after they managed to make what repairs they could to the ship with the skeleton crew they've now assembled. The system they're heading to question is the Cazulia system, where the Empress has informed them that allied forces of hers will be there. And with that, we will start in not really an office per se, but a ready room.
Arif, I've honestly blanked a little bit on their names, and that's something to add to the list of things for Arif to feel bad about. But I'm gonna contact the two Calathians that I had to, I guess, treat with from behind the force field when they were trying to take over the ship,
Uh,
and ask them to report.
Ayuzu and Oyujo are their two names.
Ah, Ayuzu, w- why don't the two of you please have a seat?
Oops, sorry. Be actually Julius.
Julius. That's so much easier.
They look at the two of them look at each other and then they take a seat.
Listen, Arif's gonna say, kind of leaning back. I owe the two of you what I think is a rather large apology. When we first met, I was quite quite rude, and I wanted to let the two of you know that that was simply a stalling tactic when I believed you were trying to take over my ship. Um, Now that we're working together, I hope I can impress upon you the fact that that's not the way I'd like to treat anyone, much less the two of you.
With as a Yuzu speaks up, with all due respect, sir, um, we follow Maddie wherever she goes, but obviously, we don't feel like serving um, the Empire in the capacity as what we used to.
I can certainly understand that. Um, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't feel much the same way myself at times, and rather heavily lately. However, that being said, provided that, I find a way to keep myself out of trouble with my people, um, we're you're more than welcome to accompany us, should that be your choice, back to our home.
That would probably be agreeable, but we are sorry for the part we our part in the incident. The way the ship crashed, we thought no one survived.
No, of course, I understand. I don't blame you, and quite frankly, well, I might have not been quite as militaristic about it. I probably would have certainly um, engaged and checked it out as well. I can only commend you for doing that. Hey, so we'll chalk it up to we both did what we needed to do at the moment, and hopefully that can, if nothing else, relieve me of a little bit of my guilt uh, of the whole situation.
There's really nothing to forgive, sir.
Well, then that's gonna make today a little bit more pleasant, at least the next 5 minutes. Aside from that, uh, I wanted to let you know, Julius, that when we had to take off from that uh, uh, while we were escaping the volcano, you were unbelievably clutch, and especially, and I wanted to take a moment to let you know whatever your decision sways. While the offer is certainly open to both of you, you're more than welcome to. Hey, I'd be willing to keep you around if I can.
That's a kind offer, sir.
Excellent. So we'll see what comes and we'll figure it out from there. Why don't the two of you go back to what you've been doing? And hey, if you happen to see Garibaldi and Dr. Mountain out there, could you ask them to come in? I'll be honest, I'm pretty comfortable right now.
Of course.
Excellent. Keep doing what you're doing.
They give you a nod and they proceed to exit the room.
Just to himself, or he's gonna uh, just kind of shrug a little bit and say out loud, I think that went well. EQ.
I'm assuming Garibaldi uses a convenient other entrance inside.
This is a regular entrance, probably.
The Defiant class starship, GQ. How'd you even find that one?
Hours poring over technical details. If I'm gonna steal a ship, I might as well know where all the nooks and crannies are.
Oh, that's fair.
What's up,
Uh,
boss?
well, I wanted to call you and the doctor in because we've been speaking a lot about uh, how to help affect the Kulathians, but at a certain point, provided we want to, we're gonna have to figure out how to effect some help for ourselves to, well, perhaps allow Starfleet to look the other way on this particular one.
Let me think.
Come in.
We stole a starship. We violated the Treaty of Algernon by installing a stolen Klingon cloaking device on it. Then we violated the Prime Directive, and then we're continuing to violate the Prime. I don't think Starfleet's looking the other way, boss.
Well, quite frankly, I think a lot of those points are debatable if you want to get into the fine print of it all. And
Gents,
well, quite frankly, we might have to, but the fact is, if we can't figure out a way to do that, we have to figure out a big enough carrot. Or uh, Arif shrugs and says the other option is figure out a small stick.
I fear we'd worry about surviving this first. I mean, we've decided. I mean, obviously, we've decided that helping the princess out and stabilizing the Lathian government is what's best for the quadrant, regardless of the consequences to ourselves. So we do that first. We'll worry about the consequences later.
yeah,
Well,
those
we've
ships
already.
are pretty dangerous.
I mean,
Oh,
if it means that we become Calathian citizens, well, that's what it means. Or we get asylum with someone else. I don't particularly want to live with the Romulans, but
well, I'm. If nothing else, I'm pretty old and I've got a decent amount of friends. Something tells me if it becomes that uh, that drastic, I don't think it would be too hard to find, um, well, a life elsewhere. But being as I agree with you, GQ, we've already decided to take this path, and Doctor, it is dangerous, but that doesn't mean, well, we might not be able to keep an eye out on the travel to see if we can fix our other problems down the road.
well, sure, as long as it doesn't distract from the overall mission. I mean, I can always write us new identities for all of us. Doctor can give us a little plastic surgery, change our appearance.
You get your
I'll
dot
work
back.
and we can just go be somebody else, and we'll be able to go back to Starfleet. But sometimes you pay your money. Sometimes doing the right thing means paying a consequence.
Well, that's certainly fair, but unless the two of you have urgent work, as I understand it, there's really nothing we can do at this particular second besides travel to the new meeting point.
I'll figure out how to do that without getting caught. That's going to be the fun part. It was easy when we had a cloaking device. Easier.
Well, that's certainly true, and that's that was short-lived but wonderful. But come in.
I've been kind of hoping the admiral would be able to find us a safe path through the systems.
Uh, Perhaps when we're done here, you could double check with him and make sure.
Out of character, I think he told us no last one.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, we'll have to
He
play
said
it
it
by
would be
ear.
very difficult because of the sensor, arrays.
So let's do our best to be careful.
Agreed. And remind me, have we already altered the our transponder or signature?
We were going to do it as a freighter, right? Maybe we should discuss this on the bridge and get things moving.
Oh, why not? Arif says. You guys go on. I'll just be one extra minute.
Fair enough.
when they leave, knowing it's a long day, Arif is gonna allow himself one more minute of comfort before sighing and standing up and heading out to the bridge.
I'll get a cup of coffee and a muffin.
Not yet. I'm waiting till I need a pick me up.
I'll join you.
I would have, despite the token, Garibaldi is not wearing a uniform. Figures it's not appropriate at this time for him to be in uniform.
That's fair. I'm wearing something casual but useful.
I'm saying Arif kind of has liked not having to wear the restrictive uniform lately, so we're provided, we ever get back, we're definitely instituting casual Fridays.
Rakdagino.
That's a horrible name for a bar.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, what
I
about
mean-
the Lone Rangers? In honor of what brought us there.
Works for me. Maybe just singular, the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, but I want people to know that we'll serve more than one person at a time.
I mean, is that even grammatically correct? Can you have Lone Rangers?
say?
Lone Ranger? Lone
No,
implies just one.
Once they get drunk enough, they just won't care.
Are you
Besides-
encouraging intoxication, sir?
If I own a bar, sure.
We own a bar, real alcohol.
Oh,
No,
of
that's
course.
alcohol stuff.
Well, it'll rot your insides after a while, but
That's why we have you, Doc. You can fix them right up so they can spend more.
yeah, I still am looking forward to helping people in this whole process. So, that's still my main oath I have yet to break.
I mean, if Picard can have a winery, we should be able to have our own whiskey stills.
Why not moonshine? Who knows?
Whiskey tastes better?
Well, probably the Klingons would prefer the blood wine anyway, right?
We'll cater to all kinds.
Certainly.
All right, so how do we figure out how to get from this, where we are, to where we need to be? Admiral?
The admiral who was working with Maddie here briefly, he kind of stops looking over his shoulder and then looks over to Commander Reef. There seems to be a problem. The attempted to access one of the nearby sensor arrays in order to input our classification ID code for a new transponder, and well, apparently we're having no luck at it.
They locked you out, huh?
No, it's more like it's not there.
The relay?
It says it's offline.
Does that mean that we can't identify the other Coathian ships?
It means nothing's being monitored right now, potentially. It's unclear what happened to the sensor array. Could merely just be offline for maintenance, which is highly unusual. Or it's been destroyed.
Or it could be a perfect window for us that they know.
Or a trap.
You can turn it on anytime.
Indeed. I'm not I'm not necessarily gonna look at this as a stroke of good luck, but I do think we need more information.
I agree. Should we go and look?
Look at the detector area. Go to the base that might detect us easily. Maybe we should just be lucky and get to the next safe spot.
The sensor beacon is a small station, roughly about no bigger than the size of the ship, if at all. Most of the equipment is mainly used for detecting and communicating with ships. Usually it's crewed with 5 individuals.
Well then, if you'd be so kind, Admiral, to key in those coordinates to the helm, let's go take a look and let's shut down all non-essential systems and run in as low power as we can.
That will be a control engineering difficulty 2 task.
I can take care of that.
And the Admiral nods to Maddie to relay the coordinates, which Faye could do the honors.
Should I do the engineering task?
Yeah.
Like you're the one that's most best suited for it.
I was like, no, Faye could do the honors for setting course.
Yep. Control engineering, you said?
Yes, control engineering difficulty 2.
I'll spend. I don't have a focus. I'll spend for an extra die. Get that ball rolling. What?
Any assist from the ship?
Isn't it affecting the ship?
Yeah, I'm going to say no because you're affecting the ship. So, no assist. As I realized I was muted a few seconds ago. But yeah, Faye punches in the coordinates and engages the warp drive.
Quiet mode engaged.
Give us some momentum, though, right?
Yeah, 1 momentum. And the Ranger heads off to the relay station. Sensor station. It's roughly 5 light years. Faye kind of turns around and tells you current speed, it'll take us a few hours to get there.
Admiral, do you think we could hide our signature from that location? Putting it in directly if it's not destroyed?
Considering it's offline, Doctor, I highly doubt anyone will see us unless it's another ship.
Sure.
How far out of the way is this taking us?
I mean, 2 light years off the course you would have went a little bit, but not too far off.
Oh, it's not bad.
I just don't feel like getting into trigonometry here, you know.
No, that's okay. I understand.
I mean, I could help out if you really need it.
I mean, I did okay in college with it, but I forgot the formulas at this point in my life because I don't use it. Yeah.
Well, look at me,
So,
I'm a statistician.
free role play until you arrive, or we could just speed the plot when you get there.
I'm all for us getting there.
We have a lot of distance to travel these days.
Well, speed the plot as the ranger comes out of warp. And on the view screen, you see without even scanning for it, sort of a debris cloud where something used to be.
I assume no survivors, but would you do a scan anyway?
This will be, if you're scanning for survivors, this will be reason medicine assisted by the ship's sensors plus medicine. If you are scanning the debris cloud, this will be reason plus engineering. Task for survivors, difficulty of 3. Debris cloud will be difficulty 2.
Have at it, gentlemen. Split the difference.
Reason medicine. Diff 3.
Yes.
I mean, could I use imaging systems as a focus?
I'll take it at increased complication.
Sure. And I'll spend. I'm just gonna do it. Momentum and 2 threat. Well, chong. I don't want to reroll. Oh, thanks.
Gain 4. So, yeah. I will do the typey.
Let's see if I can find something in this debris field. I've detected what's left of the crew. Admiral, what is your procedure for taking care of your deceased?
Bodies are to be recovered, if possible, and sent back home.
Well, I have them on my screen so I can get them into the cargo hold, but it's up to the commander, I guess.
I apologize. What was the Admiral's answer?
It's customary to, if possible, pick them up and take them back home for a proper burial.
Very well. I'm completely willing to do that, Admiral, but hold off for now, Doctor. Let's get a little bit more information and make sure we're in the clear to before we bring them aboard.
Yeah, there might be some traps in there. Whoever did this might have left something behind.
To scan the debris cloud, it's reason plus engineering, difficulty 2, assisted by sensors engineering.
Imaging systems again.
Increase complication.
Okay. And I'll take one of those momentum.
get the momentum back.
So there's nothing extra here, but looks like it was about a day or so when this place was destroyed. Can I detect what sort of weapon destroyed it?
For a momentum.
Sure. I'm just going to relay it so you can just see it. Huh. It looks like Starfleet phasers destroyed it. Maybe somebody's trying to set us up or something.
Interesting.
What do you make of this, Garibaldi?
No idea. Doesn't make any sense for there to be another Starfleet vessel out here. Unless it's somebody else that's using our weapons technology, which would not be out of the realm of possibility. Simply not
I
enough information to make you draw any conclusions.
What
know,
more information would you need?
is there any way to narrow down how powerful the phasers were? Perhaps letting us know maybe what type of ship it could be.
Um,
I mean, can you tell the difference between a phaser array and a phaser cluster? I don't know. What do they have?
Well, the beams would be the same.
It's standard, so
Would the
could be
scoring
any
on the
ship.
ship be the same?
Our ship would probably match or similar signal.
Well, I'm sure if we wanted to attempt to graphically reassemble the station and
I
then
think
look
we
at
have
blast patterns, we could probably figure it out.
time or whatever. We're sitting ducks right now, so at least within ship ranges, anyway.
Can we have a look out to our maximum range and see if there are any other ships in the area without drawing attention to ourselves?
There's the rub.
I'm not a veterinarian, but a gift horse and a mouth. We shouldn't look at right at it, I guess. Perhaps we should just make our way to our rendezvous.
I don't like this.
Don't either. Admiral, where's the next closest sensor relay to this position?
10 light years. We can attempt to maybe connect to it from here. They are linked.
Give it a shot, Admiral.
And he looks to Maddie. And a few minutes pass by, and the Admiral looks at the screen and same results. This one appears to be offline as well.
Very well. Is the sensor buoy roughly in the same direction of where we need to be?
It'll take us off 8 light years off our course.
Can we afford to do that, Admiral?
Given the situation, it would be... It would add a lot of time and increase our odds of being discovered.
I agree with the Admiral, boss.
That's
Every
fair.
moment we're floating out here, so another moment we get caught. I think the
That's-
doctor's got the right of it. We
That's
set a
fair.
course to our ultimate destination.
That's fair. Then why don't, Doctor, why don't you collect the fallen, and I'll be back. I'd like to speak with the princess.
I'll waive the rule for collecting the fallen. But it is going to take time unless you want to do it in a hurry. Then I'm going to make it a task.
No, I'll just take whatever time Arif allots.
Okay.
What do you mean by time? How much time?
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
It'll probably take you about 10 minutes to do it.
A conversation's worth, perhaps.
That's fine.
And I'll put him in a cargo bay and appropriately taken care of.
Probably want to freeze them or something.
How many beds are available in the bed? In the med area.
There's only 4, so I would assume you would be able to, either do something. You could probably use like a storage area that's.
I can convert it and change the temperature settings.
Because
Yes,
bad things happen in room temperature.
And we know this. So, but luckily they've been preserved in space, so shouldn't have started at all.
You meeting her in the ready room? Arif?
No, I'll go to her.
I don't have crew quarters, so theater of the mind, I guess.
Fair enough.
As you buzz the door, she says enter in the small cramped quarters of a Defiant class vessel. Commander Reef.
Princess, I wanted to give you a little bit of an update, and I wanted to inform you of some recent developments that, quite frankly, I think it would be helpful to have your take on.
Very well.
Well, the first things first, your admiral, in attempting to change our transponder, and has discovered that one of your monitoring stations has been well, has been attacked. Um, we've, I'm sorry, uh, but there is currently no survivors, and the ship is. The Admiral explained your customs, and the ship is currently attempting to retrieve four of your people in the manner with which uh, you guys handle it.
Most appreciated, Commander.
Admiral, the next thing I'm going to say, yes, Princess. The next thing I'm gonna say is, well, a little difficult, but it's the truth, and I hope you'll listen to the second part too, because it is true as well. We ran a scan on the weapons that were used to destroy uh, the monitoring station, and they are indeed Starfleet in origin. As to that second part, I've been in or around Starfleet a long time, Princess. I don't agree with a great many of the things they do, but I have developed a feel for the organization from its inception to current. I don't honestly believe that Starfleet would decide to attack your people unannounced. I believe that there's either our own uh, rogue ship to deal with, well, smiling a little bit and looking around, a different rogue ship to deal with, um, or somebody has gotten a hold of Federation weapons the same way we got a hold of a Klingon cloaking device.
It wouldn't surprise me that my brother is taking this opportunity to do um, certain operations within the Empire to make it believe that the Federation is responsible for in terms to facilitate a war.
And Princess, once again, I cannot swear to you in all truthfulness that this was not the Federation. I simply can say it was not us. Um, However, quite frankly, as soon as I saw the readings, well, I realized that no matter what the outcome is, it could easily put a huge dent in what I'm trying to accomplish here, and that's an eventual bridge between our peoples.
With all due respect, Commander, there won't even be a bridge if my brother is continuing to serve on a throne in which he should not be occupying.
I agree. And I've been thinking about that, and I have to run it by my crew. But, well, Princess, I'm pretty sure we're all in with you at this point, and well, we'll let the chips fall where they may.
She just gives you a slight nod, and is that all, Commander?
A personal request that might. Do your people I'm sorry I know so very little, but do your people create statues?
Yes, we do.
Princess, the ambassador was a good man. I do think he deserves one.
As you are most likely well aware, history is told by those of the victors. And if we are victorious in our endeavor to win this civil war, I assure you there will be a statue of him.
Well then, let's keep our eye on the prize, shall we? That'll be mine.
Of course.
Um, and if she has nothing else, Arif will nod and say, then if you'll excuse me, princess, my place is back in the chair.
Thank you, Commander.
Um, and I'll head back to the bridge.
Uh, as you head back to the bridge, we're going to change scenes here. And we're going to go back in time a little bit. As a guard, one of the Quathian troopers walks in the temple that you fled from. They look to the two guards and state, "You're dismissed. I will handle the cleanup." And they look at each other and see the rank on the suit, and they, proceed to head out. As the lone trooper walks up to the body of the ambassador, they take off their helmets, revealing the face of a familiar face in the story, and proceeds to kick the ambassador's body, and you hear this loud grunt. How long are you going to sit there? They gone? Yes. Good. I was shot twice, right? I'm quite aware. The ship's on standby. Good. Can you help me up here? As the major rolls her eyes and proceeds to help up the ambassador as the two discreetly beam off the planet. And we go back to the bridge of the Ranger. At this point, Arif, you walk onto the bridge of the Ranger.
Well, gentlemen, Faye, we're in the shit now. How's it going?
Sir, I put the Coethians in the freezers available, and I've converted one of the storage areas and decreased the temperature appropriately. And if we ever get to Coathia, we'll have a proper burial for them.
Very well. Probably Faye, I would think, monitoring comms. Or GQ.
I don't know. So I figured we're about to set course and head to the place we're going.
You're already on your way. You've been traveling for a little bit. Yeah,
I guess
just
we're probably will do it since the doctor has got so many other hats to wear.
Garibaldi, give me insight plus usually communications and engineering task. Yeah, insight engineering difficulty of 1. Assisted by the ship's communications engineering.
Yeah.
Gain 2 momentum. I will send you a message over Discord real quick.
For a moment, I heard in my head the Spock's line from the voyage home. Uhura is busy. I am monitoring.
Nice.
Unencrypted.
Give me control plus security difficulty 2.
You sure that doesn't sound like a daring thing? Seems very daring to me.
No.
No.
You have Codebreaker, right? Yeah, so diff 1.
Assist from the ship or just me?
Computers security.
I'm gonna give you a threat since I have bold security. Might as well make use of it. And I should. Okay. What was the difficulty?
1 with you have.
I'll take the one. I'll take the
yes.
one more from my earn plus one more to squash the complication.
Okay. You have like the advantage from the trait, which was Codebreaker.
Yeah.
So
That's a good thing. Hey, Reese.
Yes.
I'm picking up a strange Starfleet signal from nearby. Uh, I decrypted it, but it's still in spook speak. Says picked up grandma, dinner reservations for 12 at 9, going to the bingo game at 7.
Well, could you repeat that?
Well, the message reads picked up grandma, dinner reservations for 12 at 9, going to the bingo game at 7.
Admiral, do either of do any of those 12, 9, or 7 correspond to the amount of people you're expecting at this meeting, or perhaps the time that it is associated with?
No. I am just as confused as you are about the message.
How how many people are on board the Ranger this second?
Honorably 12.
And well, GQ, do a heavy search. Doctor, you too, help him out.
Sure.
I want to know if any transmissions emanated from this ship.
I can check.
Admiral,
We may have a
I'm
cloaked vessel nearby. Another Defiant, perhaps.
well. Let's find out if it came from us first. Uh,
Well, it came from a nearby system. I think the better question is, was it intended for us?
I mean,
Maybe,
it certainly describes us.
maybe. Were GM, and this may be an information spend. Was the transmission directed at us, or did we just happen to pick it up?
For a momentum.
I'll pay that price. All right, can we nail down its origin point? We said nearby system.
Yeah, I'll include that in the momentum spent.
Okay.
From earlier.
Is it possible for us to figure out the message, the communication's intended destination?
Reason con, difficulty of 3, assisted by the ship's computers con.
That'd be interesting. Hughes con, reason con. Difficulty was what again? I'm sorry.
3.
All right, we'll give this a shot. I'm gonna give you a threat. Try to hold on to those 2 momentum just in case. Oof.
Nice.
Plus, the message is coming originated out of the Gevion system. Best I can tell, the recipient of the message, is about a light year further along the transmission's path. I fear this isn't something we want to ignore.
No. How in shape are we if it comes to a fight? How's our shields? How's our weapons? How's our engines?
You can look at the breach chart on your ship.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a little banged up. Our sensor system could use some repair when we get in the dry dock.
That's fair. Um, well, we're not gonna have it. All right, I think we can, if nothing else, I believe we can spare a couple minutes to make this decision. I'm gonna go uh talk to the prince, inform the princess again of the recent developments and ask her opinion. I agree with you, GQ. I think it's worth the extra time to check this out.
Well, we're about a light year away from that position. Shall we change heading while you're talking to the princess?
Do it.
To the system or away from it?
Towards the destination point.
How fast can we get there?
I mean, relatively quick.
Punch it. I'll go down to engineering and make sure she stays humming.
Thank you, Doctor.
Of course. Let me know if you need anything.
While Arif is off talking to the princess, anything else is being done on the bridge?
Well, let's since we're that close, let's go ahead and bring up our shields.
Silent yellow alert.
If you want to be technical about it, Doc.
But perhaps that's necessary.
Sure. It's
Just
just
to
the
be-
12 of us. And most of us are in the bridge.
I just wasn't in the mood for a klaxon. How about that? Faye, after you've done changing coordinates, would you come over here for a second? He looks kind of nervous.
After she keys in, or well, she just looks to Vogel, who probably did the course correction, and she walks over to you before you leave the bridge. So,
I say in a quiet voice, hey Faye, um, we're on a wild ride, I guess. How you holding up?
as best I could hope for, I'm trying really not to think about it.
I won't keep you too long off your duties. You're doing great out there. I'm commending you. If and when we get back,
I'm
you still want to
pretty
fund the academy.
I'm pretty sure I'm
Hey.
still wanted. So you might want to just drop me off somewhere on the way back.
Yeah, that's fair. I keep forgetting that was just an act. Anyway, aside from that, just want to make sure you're doing all right. Just because you're not exactly who you say you were doesn't mean it was all a lie, was it?
To be honest, there's a few things I need to work out myself.
Understood. Well, if you need any help, I'm still available to you. Any nods and heads out.
As she sort of, I grabbed the wrong token. The doctor heading back eventually, as you inform the princess, who seems a bit more, even more concerned about what's going on, you eventually get back onto the bridge.
GQ, any new developments?
No, we're en route to the origin point or the destination point of the message. Been thinking about the content of the message. My guess is that somebody's got a covert team on and Gevion. They're running into problems, and they're going to be at an extraction point in about 7 hours from the moment from the transmissions or origin space. We might want to keep an eye out. We may run into friends between here and there.
What
I
was
fear-
the message again?
That's about dinner reservations for 12, so maybe they got 12 to pick up.
What was the message again?
Read the translation.
Yeah. The translation is they were able to pick up what they came for, but there's a problem with it. They've got too many hostiles in the area, and they're requesting a new extraction. They're going to be at extraction point Iota in 7 hours, about 12 kilometers west from the target location. It's pretty similar to what Starfleet intelligence uses, boss. I'm guessing. I figure if we don't find anything at the transmission's intended destination, or run into a ship between here and there, then maybe we need to head to Gevion. Hopefully, hostiles is ground forces and not enemy combatant ships.
Very well. Let's see what we find, and we'll take it from there.
As the ranger heads to at least coming up to the point, and I'll speak for Vogel since you'd be monitoring sensors. It appears that there is a debris field of one Coathian escort vessel, similar to the one we fought against on their homeworld.
Oh, I'd classify it as the one we ran away from, not fought against. However, let's.
Sorry, my memory's still a little fuzzy from that time.
Arif's just gonna sigh and say, "This."
Can we tell if it was Federation weaponry that destroyed the vessel?
You're not gonna need the sensors for that one, GQ. Arif will say, kind of disappointedly. But
I agree, but we got to verify.
Hey, welcome.
Perfect timing, Vogel.
Just to let you know, I am driving, so
Okay.
not exactly if I'll be able to play or not. I just wanted to listen in.
Well, technically, I am playing your character for a moment because sensor scanning stuff is going on.
Cool.
So to identify the phaser fire, or sorry, the weapons fire, which you guys easily probably already know the answer to verify it, is a difficulty 1, reason science. Considering they Vogel sheet, they have cautious science, so spending a momentum. Go ahead and roll sensor science for the ship, please.
I could do that. Never mind.
They have technical expertise, technical expertise, so you can reroll the ship. And cautious, so that caps you at 6 momentum. The gain of 4. And Vogel indeed confirms that it is phaser fire that destroyed the Quathian escort vessel.
He's just gonna mutter to himself his crap like this over and over again. Okay. Set course to the system. I'm gonna go once again inform the princess, and unfortunately now I have to tell her that the Starfleet ship in question, well, it can certainly stand toe to toe with her vessels. And muttering to himself, Arif's gonna start to walk off, and then think better of it, head to the replicator, with a heavy sigh, get himself a coffee and a muffin, and then head off the bridge to the princesses.
Are you wanting to roleplay the scene, or are you just going to let her know?
You know what? You can throw me in there for a minute. Princess, the situation keeps getting worse. I just wanted to inform you that we've found another one of your vessels, or a one of your escort vessels. It has been destroyed, and it's quite obvious that it was done with Starfleet weaponry. Once again, I don't know if this is a rogue ship. I don't know if this is some sort of concentrated plot, but the fact is, I'm starting to feel very uncomfortable about your proposed meeting.
It's the only avenue I have left, Commander.
Is there. How many people will this encompass?
It is the combination of what would be the loyalists for the Imperial fleet. Given what happened at the temple on my homeworld, I don't believe many of the other houses will take an opportunity to pick a side at this time.
Ma'am, will the number of people fit on this ship?
No.
That's unfortunate.
There'll be a fleet there waiting for us.
I'd be more comfortable if there was a fleet to escort us to that point. Arif will say with a small chuckle and kind of look to the princess questioningly.
You can inform the Admiral to send out a communication, but that may only increase our odds of after coming to conflict with my brother, he would also be monitoring communications.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Well, we'll keep that in the back pocket then. I think that's about it, Princess. Well, I do have to comment though. You are a little bit of a difficult friend to have, but well, I think it'll be worth it.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Then you've taken it as intended. If you'll excuse me, I'm sure I'll be back in another 10 minutes.
Should I go to the bridge myself?
If you would like, it'd be my honor.
Then I will join you.
Oh, are we headed towards the system, GQ?
We're headed there.
ETA?
May?
And
So how long until we reach maximum sensor range on the system?
about an hour.
All right, go ahead and as soon as we get to maximum sensor range, go ahead and drop us to impulse. That's all right with you, Rafe?
Sounds like a plan. Let's do what we can to lessen our power signature, just in case.
You already have the advantage in play, so
Oh, that's fair.
Bridge to engineering?
Go for mountain.
Hey, Mountain, see what you can do to get get the damage of the sensors patched up.
Sure, I'll take a look.
Out of character, the player was looking at what 2 breaches of the sensors do, and I'm like, yeah, we need to fix that.
it's already been fixed. Like, it's working as best you can, but you still gonna need the breaches still
It has
count.
an injury, basically.
Okay, but are we suffering the difficulty increase
No.
at 2 and all that?
No, not
Okay.
currently.
That's what I was worried about.
Now, if you take another hit to the sensors, well, then they're just disabled at that point. So, like, it's jury rigged together so they work properly. Is
Okay.
essentially the repair work.
Let's see, what are we, a scale?
Scale 3.
Yeah, we're damaged.
We're lucky this thing's still together. Whoever fixed this did a really good job.
You're a miracle worker, Doc.
I'll take it. Is there a way to reserve power, like in a battery or something that I can use in case of power failure or something like that?
No,
Okay.
you would need the talent for that for the ship.
Oh, could I actually recharge the power because it takes power to go to warp?
It recharges at
Or is it regen?
so whenever there's a scene change, everything's considered to be maximum. Like, you start with full power and full shields on a new scene and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Never mind.
Dropping to impulse as the hour passed by.
Why? I think, Commander, I think I'd recommend we go ahead and get a full sensor sweep of the system. It might let folks know where we are, but I think we need to know what we're looking at, what we're getting ourselves into.
Um, do it.
Everybody will look hopefully at Vogel.
I'm assuming.
She
Yeah.
she is better at that thing, that sort of thing that he is.
Div 2 reason science assisted by sensor science. So spending a momentum.
In the ship.
Reroll
She's
the
still
ship.
there.
Get the momentum back. I'm detecting debris in orbit around the third planet in the system. Appears to be from another Kuwathian vessel. Potential weapon signature on the planet itself. We need to go in closer to take a look.
Well, then let's go in closer. Let's yeah, let's go in closer, but let's be ready for anything.
Faye moves the ship in closer. As you get in closer in orbit above the planet, I am still using the same results from the scan. Detecting a fire at the appears to be a military outpost on the surface of the planet. Multiple explosions. Appears that a 8 storage hangar, or appears to be hangars, 8 of them destroyed. 12 landing pads and a large communication arrays all been damaged. It does appear though the barracks and habitation facility has been untouched, and all the base defense systems are offline.
Director scanned from that location 12 kilometers from that location, 12 kilometers to the west. Scan for life signs.
That's going to be a reason plus security difficulty 3 roll, assisted by sensor security.
That sounds like a Garibaldi thing. Let's see, difficulty 3. I give you a threat, and since we're capped, I'll give you a threat and 2 momentum. 2 extra die. The ship. Oof.
Booyah.
3
Detailed
momentum.
I'll hear what I learned before deciding what to do with the float. Can I narrow down humanoid to specific species with my float?
Yes.
Boss?
Sorry, the number's 5, not 6.
I'm detecting about 10 kilometers from the destroyed bay, the damaged base. A trail, 2 humans, a Bajoran, and a Calathian. And they're not walking into a bar.
Do we have the capability to beam up 5 at a time?
3.
Let's just secure a couple rooms and maybe, what do you think? Let's transport them aboard, the Kuathian in one room, the Starfleet personnel in another.
All right, which 2 do we leave on the planet during the first phase?
Doesn't
If we can't get them all.
uh with the shrug, let's get the Kuathian, the Bajoran, and then dealer's pick in the first wave.
All right, permission to read. I'm going to head for the transporter room to do this. This isn't. While I'm a little good at everything, I ain't great at a lot of stuff. I might be more comfortable doing this from the transporter room. So first, I want to set up. I assume a Defiant class vessel doesn't have a brig, or does it?
How about the open shuttle bay with the force fields for floors?
It has a brig, but I don't think it could hold 5. Like, it's pretty cramped.
Could I put 5 in there if I squeezed?
No, like, it's really big enough for like a person.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I think there's like 2 compartments, so you could maybe fit 2 in a brig, but I don't think you can get all 5 of them in the brig.
How many empty quarters do I have?
7.
I'm sure I have enough.
More than enough. Like, everyone who's currently on the ship could have their own quarters if they want to currently.
All right. So before I beam these folks up, I want to set a couple of secure a couple of quarters. So disable the replicators and the inside control panel so I can put people in them without them being able to get out. Basically, I want to convert a couple of rooms into cells, the quick and dirty way.
Let's go with control security. I'm gonna spend threat because you guys been giving me threat.
That's fair.
Difficulty of 2, complication range 3.
Am I going to get help from the? Oh, yes, I'm modifying the ship, so the ship's not going to help me modify itself. You said Diff 2, Comp 3?
Yes, Diff 2, Comp 3.
I will give you a threat and spend 2 momentum.
Come on, complication. You get the 2 momentum back. And you've modified 2 quarters to essentially be,
secure rooms.
Secure rooms that they're not going to be able to escape from without a lot of work to get out.
All right, so I am going to try to grab the Calathian. You wanted the Bajoran? boss?
Yes, sir.
Well, the Calathian, the Bajoran, and the Trill.
I'm assuming
I
you're doing
wish
it from
to.
the transporter room, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I wish to remove any weapons in transport.
I'm going to throw this at you. You cannot get a lock on them. Appears to be being scattered every time you try to get a lock on them currently.
Reef, they've got a scattering field in place. I'm gonna have to go down and introduce myself.
What's very well. I don't like the idea of you going alone.
Well, since there's a Calathian down there, why don't I take why don't we take the Calathian captain with me or one of her soldiers? They're good in a fight.
I'm gonna hit a couple of buttons on my chair and turn on the ship-wide intercom and say, um, everyone, it appears we have a situation turning up in the ground. A Kuathian is being led by a group of my people. We don't know if they're a prisoner or if they're a teammate. But Garibaldi's going down to check it out. Um, if anyone is able and willing to join him, I think he could use all the help he could get in evening the odds. There's at the moment it's 5 against 1.
This is Mountain. Are you sure it's wise to instigate them? Wouldn't it be better to just communicate with them? They're Federation after all. We at least can have that in common.
I don't have any intention of instigating, and that's what I'm going down for. Communication. Hey, by the way, can you come up here and run the transporter?
Sure. Who's? I'll be there in a minute.
Which Garibaldi says he's not instigating and grabs a phaser rifle.
I recognize that. Mountain is on the way. Mountain is rolling. What do you think? Mountain's coming down.
Well, on most planets, with the weather system, mountains are always coming down.
That's right.
All right, before we break into folk song and dance here,
I've seen fire and rain.
the doctor instantly dies, mysteriously.
I like that song. What's wrong with that song?
Kidding. Okay. She'll volunteer. And why not?
Do I need to pay the opportunity and escalation cost for the phaser rifle?
Yes.
Quinix, where approximately do you want to be set down?
FY, they are currently heading towards an abandoned village.
About
Wanna
2
meet them
kilometers from their current position.
ahead of them. How far from the town?
My guess is that they're about 2 kilometers from that abandoned. If that's where they're headed, my guess is they're about 2 kilometers from it.
All right.
Why don't you put me about a what's the environment like around? Is it we're talking jungle, forest, grasslands?
Forest and grasslands in the area.
Is there any gullies or anything like that? Like
No, I mean,
natural terrain?
I'm trying to go through like to actually use a map. So they're headed towards a village. You can use there's a river, some farmland, but they're definitely heading away from like a.
Put me on the edge. Put us on the edge of the village, along where you figure they're gonna enter that village at.
Sure. I'll get you right on the outskirts.
Imagine they're moving pretty quickly. I won't have to wait for them too long.
All right. I find a good spot.
Control engineering, system by the ship's sensors plus engineering. You're doing this from the base 2, -1 from being in the transporter room. So, and yeah, difficulty 2 because it's to not another transporter pad.
Sure. Spend the momentum. No focus.
So we get it back.
Yes, if that's what it says. That moving to
3
forest.
beam down, Commander.
Look,
All right. Well, if I'm on the spot where they're going to enter the town, then I'm going to ask I'll have the 2 Calathians just kind of.
Oh, they're going. I'll ping where they're enter from.
Oh,
Yeah.
Doctor did not put us where I wanted us.
Sorry, that's my fault, not the doctor's.
All right. So then we're over here.
Sure.
Oh, that's where Garibaldi told the doctor to put us. Was kind of in their path. And I'll tell the 2 Calathians to take cover and don't fire unless I do.
They nod as they move over to take essentially a covering position within the rebel.
Then Garibaldi's going to just kind of stand in the path, kind of somewhere within jumping range of cover, and take kind of a non-defensive posture. He's not going to be pointing the phaser rifle down range.
You probably want to be about there,
Uh,
so you can go into the bushes.
yeah. So he's not trying to hide, and he's not pointing the phaser rifle down range. He's trying to strike a balance between being ready for trouble and not looking like too much of a threat for whoever's coming down the way.
Make an insight security difficulty of 2.
They give you one of those little thready things,
Yay.
and I'm going to happily re-roll that
Into another complication.
into another complication.
Does the complication stand?
Sort of. I'd like to spend the momentum to squash it so that I can afford to succeed at cost if that's an option.
Sure.
Does that make sense? I'm going to squash that complication so I can take another one.
Yeah. You notice down the road appears to be 2 figures coming out until eventually, they step into the light that's currently, essentially the village is abandoned, but they still run power to the area. So the lampposts are still fully lit for, whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
You see 2 figures currently holding phaser rifle, and while this one has theirs pointed at you, the other one is sort of more of a E stance and asked,
Are they Federation phaser rifles?
Yeah, they're Federation phaser rifles. Currently they're wearing they're not in uniform, and they're wearing black. Well, you would expect to see, like, with the Starfleet commando team.
Now, this is a strange place to run into Federation commando teams.
I believe you're out of position, Lieutenant, and out of uniform.
I'm not entirely sure I'm still a lieutenant. And
you are until you are formally discharged from Starfleet or resigned.
True. So, what brings you guys into this sector of space?
Let's need to know, Lieutenant.
You need help? Because, see, what we figure is you've been going around destroying Calathian sensor relays, or at least your support ship has been.
A tactical position.
So you guys trying to start a war with the Calathians? Because that seems like, if you are, you might be doing a good job of it. Because you made it pretty obvious it was Federation weaponry that destroyed those stations.
And it was the current Calathian person who calls himself Emperor who started all of this. So if you don't mind, I have orders, and you're interfering.
No, I'm just standing in the road. And trying to figure out why there's a Federation-sponsored covert team in the area. Trying to decide whether to help you or hinder you.
Or you could do nothing and continue whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish here.
Well, that's not really my call. How about you guys come on up to our ship? I'll let you talk to my commander. Because if you know who I am, then I'm guessing you know who's with me. Sort of.
Yes, the four of you are on the most wanted list. I'm also assuming that Miss Faye Hawkins is with you.
That's neat to know. Why don't you come on up and we'll let you talk to Arif. It's his show.
Well, consider we're at a standoff here. How about you tell your two Kuathian death squad members to come out from where they're hiding at?
They're not hiding. They're watching my back. Don't you tell the Trill and the Bajoran and the Calathian with you to come forward?
She's the Trill.
Oh, I'm gonna tell the other human and the Bajoran to come out. I should have saw the dots. I mean, I got folks watching my back. You got folks watching yours. We don't have to trust. You should just come on up and talk to Arif.
She gives a slight hand signal as a human sort of like carrying a injured someone who looks like a Kuathian uniform out from the bushes.
You know, we have a doctor with us. You might want to bring her too.
My question is, Lieutenant, before I even remotely attempt to agree with you on anything here, why are you here? Why are you helping the Kuathians?
I saw an injustice being done. Thought I'd help out. Unfortunately for Arif, I kind of dragged him into it. Isn't that what we do in Starfleet? We do the right thing.
When it arises,
I mean, from the context of some of the things you said, I'm guessing that whatever your mission is, you're not here to support the new emperor.
let's just say it's best in Starfleet's interest that he doesn't arise to the throne.
I agree with you. I've got some information that you really want, but it's not my information to give. You gotta talk to Arif.
See, I have a rendezvous point to make here very soon, and I
Well, it's
really
not
don't
like
want to miss it.
you're still gonna be here. It's not like I got a cloaking device. Not like your pickup's not gonna find us in orbit.
So you're saying the cloaking device you respectively salvaged is no longer in operation?
I can neither confirm nor deny that, but we're not cloaked right now. We'll be here. Your pickup folks will see us. I'll be a little concerned if we can't see them coming. I think it's illegal to install cloaking devices on Federation starships.
It is. Very much is. Whole treaty with the Romulans.
Well. Sometimes you gotta do what's necessary, right? You gonna come up and talk to my boss?
Give me opposed presence command.
Oh. Oh man, wrong value. I'm looking at my that will apply.
Could you challenge a value?
No, I got a value for this. I'm looking to see if I've got a um I'm looking to see if I have a callback so I can get a free determination out of this.
Sure.
Because my value is going to be connecting with others personally as a useful tool, assuming the GM will take that. Yes,
Yeah,
no, maybe.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't. There's one I could stretch for, but if I was you, I'd probably tell me no. So I'm going to say no for the callback and just do the determination. So I'm going to spend my determination towards that value, connecting with others is a useful tool, and I'm going to spend 2 momentum for a third die because Presence Command is not exactly my forte. So 4 successes.
I'm gonna roll 4 dice. Actually, I'm gonna just roll 3. And they have a focus. Ooh.
Dang.
See, I'm really sorry. I just don't think I could do that. The odds are still in my favor for the most part. We lost our Coathian trail, and I really only have to worry about you, and seeing as you can't just beam me up to your ship, I think I'd rather just stay here. Unless you can come up with a better offer, or your commander can beam down here.
About you go up there alone, your friends keep me here as hostage. As a guarantee of your safe return.
How about a token of generosity and beam down a med kit?
Garibaldi hit his combat. Garibaldi to Ranger.
Go ahead.
Hey, beam me down an emergency medical kit to my location, please.
Absolutely. The reef to Dr. Mountain. Prepare a full med kit and beam it down to Garibaldi's location.
Just the med kit?
Just the med kit.
Just the med kit.
Just the med kit. Right on it. I do so. Make sure it's stocked properly, and I'll put a medical scanner on there too.
On second thought, beam down the doctor. Skills could be proven useful.
Did you hear that, Arif?
Sure. Who's coming up?
Gonna,
Oh, no
Well,
one's
I've got a-
coming up yet.
There's a Starfleet team down here. One of them's injured. The Calathian. They got a injured Calathian with them.
You've proven yourself to be quite the capable medic, GQ.
I have been to medical school.
Then the med kit is on its way, and the channel will close.
You're not getting the MD, but like I told the
You guys-
commander, I have been to medical school.
Control engineering, Div 2. Assisted by sensors engineering. Doctor, to beam down the medkit.
Right. And what do I got floating around here? Yeah. I will spend that momentum. An assist.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, I get it back. Or actually, the doctor gets it back.
And the medkit materializes. Stay around in here. If you don't mind, how about your two friends come out?
How about you just let me treat your Calathian injured, and I don't want to put my guests in more jeopardy.
We're a little exposed here.
So am I.
I'm not worried about you.
Like, they got orders not to shoot until I do. You're fine.
Again, not worried about that. Eventually, Quathian patrols are going to make their way here.
Then we should probably hurry. You want me to treat your friend?
Motions and sets her down.
In a further gesture of goodwill, your body will set his phaser rifle up against that post behind him, and step over to treat the Calathian.
Daring medicine difficulty 2.
I'm going to spend the last momentum this time.
Barely
It's a
got
good thing
it.
I got it. Well, it's a good thing I got it with the first die, because the last two weren't helping out very much.
And you managed to repair the damage. She had a torn ligament, pretty much slowing them down.
Okay, so nameless Starfleet operative. Shown you my goodwill. You say the Calathians have got folks coming. How about I help you vacate this area? You can wait for your transport on the Ranger. I get a strong feeling we're on the same side. Come on up. We'll share some information with you if Arif decides it's okay. He's a pretty sharing guy. I think you're going to like what he probably has to say. Like I said, I'm fairly certain we're on the same side here. He's not going to be super happy about you destroying those relay stations. He's not big on military action that costs costs lives. I'm sure you've read his file.
Fine. Bring beam up the other two Coathians that you bring down with you first. Have them beam up before we do.
You're ball in a mountain.
Go for mountain.
Go ahead and beam up the two that came down with me and keep a sensor lock on me, would you?
All right.
Same roll. F2.
You didn't get me more momentum back? What the heck?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
I'll take a threat.
You gain 2. As the two Coathians step out and beam up, and leaving you behind with 4 of them. And
Grossly outnumbered.
She
where's
proceeds to whistle, and after they beam, that's like a whistle, and 2 more come out of sort of a hiding poach area.
Huh.
Oddly enough, kind of close to where those 2 were at.
Yeah, didn't see that. Didn't look for those 2. You've got at least one more.
Small
There
team.
There were 4 with you, according to our scanners. And I figure these 2 are 2 I didn't look for.
This is all of us. If you don't mind, 3 of my officers will beam up to make sure it's safe. Agreed.
Why don't you just go with your Calathian friend here, and your officers can hold me hostage?
You're offering us
Yeah,
to
you're
be on
worried
board
about
your
safety.
ship.
We're talking about safety. I'm worried about safety of the people on the Ranger. I don't have that many people up there. I don't think Arif's going to be all that thrilled with the idea of me letting him get outnumbered up there. I've shown you a hell of a lot of trust, lady. It's your turn.
Then I'll beam up alone. She stays.
Very well. You ready?
And she kind of opens up like a small pouch and deactivates something. Was hidden on her chest.
Garibaldi in the mountain?
Mountain Transport Service.
Hey, scan for that Trill life sign. Beam her up to the Ranger. Have her escorted to a reef's ready room.
Sure.
Mountain, you'll hear on the comm, belay that doctor, beam her up, and I'll meet her in the transporter room.
Awaiting your presence.
And I'll head to the transporter room.
One moment, team. Away team. 1 moment.
Boys, winning. Garibaldi will stick out a hand to the Calathian. I'm Garibaldi, by the way. I figure I should introduce myself to anyone I've patched up.
Major Lena.
Pleasure to meet you, Major.
Div 2, Doctor.
You have momentum now.
I'll take one of those. Hold on again. The sensors are glitching out. That didn't work.
Can I assist by any chance?
No. Technically, you'd probably be arriving mid the beam was happening. Yeah, you're unfortunately having trouble getting a lock on her.
See, I sort of have a lock on her, but I think there's still some interference with the other resistors, I guess. Or I can't get a clear lock on you.
Miss, I think your companion scattering field is interfering with our transporters.
Have her walk like 20 feet to the left, GQ.
Have you step over a little further away from your companions?
She moves over 5 feet. And she just kind of motions like anytime.
Give her another shot there, Doc.
Energizing. Take another one.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So we got it, but we gotta have to take both complications because we got nothing.
Ugh.
Unless you're gonna try to spend your determination for a reroll, Doc.
Can I reroll both of them?
Yeah,
If
you
you
have to spend your determination.
Yeah, but on what value?
That's a good question.
Doesn't believe in a no-win situation.
It's not really a no-win situation.
It is if I want her to be unscrambled.
Well, she'll get up there. We just might not have transporters anymore.
Or,
It succeeds, which means the transport goes through, and whether or not it just depends on how the complication, like what is use the complication for.
Mission directive? This would be
Mission directive is really just to escort the Empress to the system, to another system in question.
well, this is part of the direction we were going with her. She didn't say otherwise or change plans.
Deviated slightly, so
Right. Then there you stand.
Nature of the game. Do your worst, GM.
Oh, wait, actually, I might have a thingamajiggy.
Yeah, I should say that I don't do your worst, GM. Be gentle.
Either way. That would have to be before the. So yeah, I don't think my things would be.
Accidentally beams her onto the bridge right in front of the princess.
Ta-da. Starcross and Starfleet medallion. So no, none of those. Yep, they are it. It is it.
all right. I'm taking one of the complications is threat. I believe someone said to deactivate or essentially their weapons.
I was lucky to get a lock, let alone that she had a weapon on her.
She had a weapon on her. She beams onto the Ranger as a reef enters, which the two Kuathians are actually in here too. And as part of the complication, she still has her phaser rifle, and the two Kuathians are essentially kind of in almost a Mexican standoff as they aim their as they're pointing weapons at each other.
Hey, I'm gonna Wait, at
That's
each
the
other or?
yes. The three are pointing weapons at each other.
Hey, I'm not gonna have any of that aboard my ship. If you're gonna do that, I'll beam you all down, and well, this will all have been pointless.
They lower theirs first.
Your turn.
Presence command difficulty 2 to get those two to lower their weapons.
Alright, that I can do. Would persuasion apply?
Yes, that would apply in this situation.
Could you take one threat, please?
The two Quathians lower their weapons as she eventually lowers hers.
There. See? Um, Doctor, why don't you escort our Guathian friends? Uh, and he's just gonna shrug. I don't know, somewhere. And I'll talk to Miss, and I'll look at the pad questioningly.
Miss is fine. My name's irrelevant.
I'll speak to Miss Irrelevant here.
Julius, would you go to engineering and cover for me? And you should go
Julius
to the
is
bridge?
not there.
Whoever this person is.
It's Maddie and
Maddie.
Doctor, as he begins to speak, why don't you
I should man the
speak-
station in case they need to get off the planet quickly. Don't you think, sir? Perhaps you could take it to your side room over there.
I'm a pretty good ways behind the console, Doc. In which case, why don't you take the Clathians somewhere and then come back?
the two Quathian women get the idea and they just kind of exit, walk behind you, and Maddie kind of whispers to you, "I hope you know what you're doing."
Me too. She'll hear back.
If you'll step off the pad, please, in case there's an emergency. Thank you.
So,
Doctor,
Lieutenant Quinix, for me, you wish to talk.
Doctor, I'd like the room if I could.
Oh, sure. I'll be right outside.
Thank you. I call him GQ. It's easier. As I'm guessing you know, my name is Arif. I'd like to know what you're doing here.
Just need to know, Commander.
And I don't suppose you're gonna tell me.
Sorry. Not in the position to really tell you. You have to take it up with the higher ups. Oh, wait.
Would you at least be so kind as to tell me which higher ups I should take that up with? Even in my position, I still know quite a few people.
I mean, I guess you
Yes.
could start with Admiral Keller. Maybe he can get you somewhere.
Really? That's
Uh,
interesting.
I'll give it to you. She's being sarcastic.
Oh, that's less interesting. And quite frankly, less helpful. Um, can I, is there anything that, as I look at her, is there anything that she's wearing some sort of insignia, anything?
There's no insignias on her, like on the uniform, like the clothing she's wearing.
I take it you're the reason, well, I've come across a number of dead Kulathians lately.
I wouldn't know what to comment on that, sir.
Please call me Rafe. See, here's the thing. I'm gonna say, moving back to the console. Y- I assume you read in my files that I was a pacifist and whatnot.
If you're asking if we're here to start a war, then I will tell you the answer is no.
Then allow me to be direct. Are you here to in any way interfere with the current emperor's position?
I think you're doing a fine job at that yourself, sir.
Sarcasm? And Arif will actually ask that.
She just kind of smiles and looks around like, take it as you want.
Can I do any sort of like deep read to find out if she's being serious or just flippant?
Insight command difficulty 2.
Non-verbal communication?
Sure.
Oh, I think we have one momentum from my previous role.
Yes, you do. Sorry.
I am gonna spend it.
You definitely get the feeling by her mannerisms and the way she's talking that she's put up a wall. It's very typical of individuals who engage in less than scrupulous activity they do not wish to disclose.
In which case, I'm gonna say you're absolutely right. Uh, and I do hope I'm doing it rather decently. Are you here to aid or hinder that?
If you're asking me if I'm going to interfere in what you're doing, the answer is no. Those are not my standing orders.
Do your standing orders interfere tangentially with what I am doing?
More like you're interfering with my orders.
That's less of a concern to me, no offense. I don't know if I knew what your orders were, I could stay away.
To be honest, we thought you were on the other side of Kuathian space.
We're nimble.
Clearly.
Well, this has been not overly helpful. Uh, do me a favor. Um, I'm gonna tap a few things into the console to. I know Mountain's right outside. I'm gonna put in a bit of a. I'm gonna have um text display on the exterior corridor. Um, on the uh wall panel. Um, and basically have it say, come on, excuse me, come on in, but don't mention anything about who's aboard the ship. Um, I'm gonna say in a few moments, my doctor will return and we'll send you back to the planet and um, I'll take up GQ. I'd really like to know why you're here, though I do. If there's one thing I've learned over the course of the years, I will eventually get my answers. I just have to be patient. Um, you sure you don't want to save me some time?
Considering the outcome that Kuathian forces could be here at any moment, and obviously my friends are probably going are late. If you allow us to be guests momentarily, we will not be interfering with whatever you're doing. They should be here within a few hours. Or you can meet me down and I'll take my chances below.
I'll be honest, I'm happy to give you Haven. However, that is something that shows a great deal of trust, and quite frankly, you have not provided that at all. I'd like to know why you're here, and if, regardless of the reason, um,
Well, let's just say, as long as you're keeping the Kuathian princess, well, the Empress alive, we are aligned.
I'm not going to show any reaction to that and just continue to speak and say, and the fact is, I'd like to I'd like to know the specifics. It's just important, and if you if you're willing to tell me, I will give you safe haven for as long as you need. It's something I'm kind of good at. If you don't, then we can proceed with the exchange, and yes, you can take your chances. And listen, I give you my word, I won't tell anyone that you told me. I'll simply factor it into my planning. It'll be between us.
Somehow I don't believe you, Commander.
Oh, that saddens me. I told you it's a reef. Doctor, the missus over here beaming, um, will be beaming down, and I think we'll be taking GQ back.
Okay.
Unless, and I'm just gonna look at her. Unless it would be terribly rude, but I can ask my doctor to leave the room again for 30 seconds.
Is there something you wish to discuss with me in private?
You know exactly what I want. That's the only thing that's keeping you from safe haven.
We're on the same side here. Let's just work together temporarily and have a truce between whatever you got going on. And maybe we can get our teams up here and get the job done.
Are we now?
See, it's coy answers that make me not so sure. Um, and I'll step away from the console and kind of motion to the doctor. Doctor, your console. Um, and walking up, I'll say, ma'am, if you'll just step up on the pad. I apologize, miss, if you'll just step up on the pad.
Well, good luck. Reef.
Thank you, miss. Um, good luck to you as well. I'm sorry something small kept us from, well, potentially finding out if we were allies.
You may think it's small, but the implications are, well, not in my favor. You can energize, Doctor.
You heard the lady.
I hope you know what you're doing. I guess a threat.
All right. Yep. Tip 2. Oh boy.
It's the sensors. It's the sensors.
We did 4 if they were really damaged. Meanwhile, back on the planet. And after a little bit, she returns to Garibaldi.
Welcome back.
Thank you. She looks at the others. Major, you able to walk? She nods. Then we better get a move on. We have some ground to cover.
Not coming with us, are you?
See, your commander was pretty persistent in wanting me to disclose classified information. You know how it is.
Yeah. Well, do me a favor. Whatever it is you're doing, don't get caught. Because unlike us, Starfleet can't just disavow you. We're a bunch of renegades and a stolen starship. You look like a standard intelligence team.
Your words, not mine.
Now, suppose, Major, you'd want to come with us.
I'll take my chances with them, Lieutenant.
Well, wherever you're headed, good luck. Stay safe. Don't get caught.
I would offer the same advice to you.
Maybe I'll see you around the homeworld sometime. In one life or another.
Perhaps. And the rest of them start filing out as they move past you.
Well, once they leave, your buddy will grab his phaser rifle and call for transport. Airball of the Ranger, bring me home.
All right.
I'm not going to make you roll for it this time.
Energizing.
Sorry, the trip wasn't as fruitless as fruitful as we hoped, GQ.
Well, I guess we need to make up some time. At her pickup, as much as I'd like to see who's picking her up, I got a feeling we don't want to be here when it happens.
No,
And maybe they'll cause enough of a distraction for us to get where we're going.
maybe. No. Arif will just say maybe, and then he'll say no, and then start walking to the door.
Thanks for the transport, Doc.
Of course. I gotta get back to engineering just in case.
Oh, you back to my weapons console just in case. Your boy's headed to the bridge.
I'll meet you up there soon, GQ. I'm gonna let the princess. Oh, she's at the bridge. I'm headed with you.
Do they even know that the Empress was here?
No, nor they. Yes. However, I didn't
No,
tell
yes.
them.
How'd they know
know.
we had her?
Well, did you ever take a look to see if we had sent any transmissions? Did you ever get a chance to do that?
We hadn't. And my other bosses have never said anything to me about having teams inside of Quathian space. They sure are well informed, though.
They make a lot of mess, too.
What worries me is that they were particularly well informed about our recent developments, and a logical leap is one thing, and it could be, but it also could be that they're gaining information. Obviously, it wouldn't be coming from our Kulathian guests. I trust the two of you and Sarah. That leaves, unfortunately, one more potential, which I don't necessarily believe to be the case, but it
It's
worries.
true that Faye's got some sort of organization behind her.
Doc,
Sure.
for Faye's injuries, could it, is there any way we could have her need bed rest for a day or two with monitoring in case of particulars cropping up?
You want me to lie? I don't think she's fit for duty.
I apologize.
What's
I
the
missed
what's the point?
the point is, on the off chance she is at this point,
Just
what is
spit it
it?
out. Where you don't have to beat around the bush. Just say you want me to lie about Faye's condition to force her to not be able to do anything. Just ask her to get off the bridge.
The issue is I don't want her to have free reign of the ship, and I don't want her to know it. And no, I don't want you to lie. I'm asking if it would be a lie, or if there's reasoning behind it.
Yeah, what is the reasoning behind it?
Because she's a reasonable suspect for feeding information to whoever's behind that covert team we just ran into.
In fact, the only reasonable suspect on board.
Well, the Admiral had plenty of opportunity, as did the other Coethians.
You do remember, Doctor, she's not really your niece, right?
That's fair.
She's a couple of 2-3 years old. She's been programmed by somebody.
You guys are the experts. But you don't have to drag me into it. Maybe I'm already compromised and I shouldn't be involved with it.
Well, very well. It was the hope that she wouldn't know that we suspected anything, but I think, what do you think, GQ? I think at this point, the risk outweighs the reward, and we should probably.
Do you have any evidence at all? Did you check her consoles?
The evidence is that the covert team had more information than they should, Doctor. They've had information from very recent developments.
I will inform you that they were thinking you were on the other side of Kuathian space, not there. Just
It's
FYI.
more the princess.
Yeah, but there's no reason. We gotta at least suspect we got a mole if they know we have the princess on board.
Yeah. And it could be a shot in the dark on their part, but I'm just not willing to take the risk.
Well, we don't have any other allies anywhere nearby.
Plus, why do they even know we're in Kulathian space, period? Actually, now that I think about it.
Because we're wanted?
Yeah, but we haven't been really.
We didn't tell anyone we were coming here, and no one has seen the Ranger. 'Cause
Except
even,
the Kulathians, and that was too soon to get anyone here. Certainly not a covert team.
and even when we did, even when a reef picked us up out of the chapel, we were cloaked. I mean, maybe we're just being paranoid, but it's not paranoia if they're really out to get you.
Yeah, I've heard enough.
Well, if she didn't shoot you on sight, that's a good sign, right? For a wanted man. That's trust right there.
GQ, why don't we skip the bridge for now and head to engineering with the doctor? Let's see if we can let's actually I'm
Well,
sorry.
why don't I give the ship a once over?
Yeah,
I need to check the comm system carefully. And
Could run a diagnostic, make sure everything's working properly.
you guys actually take care of that. I'll head to the bridge so it doesn't seem, suspicious that we're all holed up in engineering.
no, Doc can keep the ship running, and I'll do what I do.
Make sure we're secure lined, at least.
And I'll tell Sarah to start putting us back on course. And as to the team, I think enough people have died today. I would prefer that that those numbers weren't raised by 6, but well, wish them luck.
Do they not have a ride?
It's on
Hey,
its way. We don't want to be here when it gets here.
Okay.
We
gentlemen,
are renegades, after all.
indeed, and we're not in prime shape. I think it's time for another muffin.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on everybody. I'll check the ship.
Sure. I'll make sure the ship shape.
Good luck.
And Garibaldi will start with the communications array.
Go to engineering and do a diagnostic.
Reason plus engineering difficulty 2, but we're real quick though. I mean, who's going to the bridge?
That would be me.
So, and Garibaldi, or are you going somewhere else?
I'm probably going to start my investigation in the computer core.
Okay. So I know where people are at. Faye's still at helm control. You got on the bridge, Reef.
Absolutely. I am going to sit down. Well, I apologize. I'm gonna stop by the replicator and grab myself muffin number 2. Um, and sitting down, I will say, alrighty, Sarah. Oh, I apologize, Faye. It seems like we've got a meeting to get to. Why don't you bring us there quick as our as quick as we'll keep our um, low signature? And actually, I'm getting a little worried about the damage to the ship. I know we repaired it, but if you could just keep every 5 or 10 minutes, if you could make a continuous diagnostic to make sure we're still in that low signature mode. And do me a favor, just since the two of you are right there, why don't you work with Sarah on it too? Um, that way, it's something I'm worried about, and that way we, with 2 sets of eyes, that should quell my fears a bit.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. How are your ribs feeling?
I'm fine. Dr. Mountain patched me up. Pretty good.
Probably a fair bit better than I could, or did.
You tried your best.
Oh, hey, I'll always take points for trying. Um, yeah, and I'm settling back into his chair. Looking at, looking pretty blank. He'll say, uh, let's go.
Uh, Princess kind of walks over. So, what did you learn?
Very well. If you'll follow me into my office.
Of course.
Um, and as I close the door, I say, "Well, we didn't get any new passengers, and um, we didn't learn of what their actual agenda is here. However, they know enough that I find it troubling. I believe that they have a pretty good idea of your presence on this ship."
It's not like we didn't make a scene on our escape.
Yes, but it's also not like that was a month and a half ago, Princess.
Information travels fast, especially even within the Empire, whether it's true or a rumor.
These people didn't originate in your empire. These were my people. Well, these were Federation Starfleet officers.
Point taken. But if the Federation was having problems, I would be sure to monitor what's going on with inside there in your people's territory too. I am trying to just be objective here, Commander. I don't like the idea of someone spying on my the internal politics of my people.
That's, you know what, Princess, you make an extremely good point, and there's, quite frankly, a very good chance that you are absolutely correct. However, in my mind, I'm balancing that against if you're wrong, well, that's me forfeiting your life. So that was my mental arithmetic.
Then the only way to ensure that I keep on living, Commander, we make to the rendezvous point with all due haste.
We're doing that now. Um, However, this situation has certainly gotten more complicated. It's obvious that uh, my people as well as your people are involved. Um, I'd like to believe that they stand with us, my people, that is. However, I can't I can't say for sure, but for what it's worth, we're still on board and committed.
Well, if your people involved, then I have a lot of cleaning up to do within my empire. It's even going to be an empire after this is all over with.
That sounds like a difficult process, um, Empress. You might need some good eyes, second pair of eyes.
One day at a time, Commander. If you don't mind, I would like to get some rest.
Please do so. And I will, well, I will wake you when we're a couple hours away from the rendezvous point.
Very well. Thank you, Commander, for everything you're doing.
Empress, before you leave, um, I'm thinking very long and hard about who exactly I can trust of my own. I would very much appreciate the same on your part.
Given my long line of work and obligations that I have had over the many of years, even while my father reigned, I've always followed my gut on who I can trust and has not yet led me astray. Perhaps you should too.
Well, that's why we're in the room, Empress.
Indeed. And
Go rest. I have calories to burn.
and she walks out of the room.
No time for comfort now. Arif's gonna go to the bridge and basically pretend to read a book on his armchair while keeping an eye on the back of Faye's head.
All right. Uh,
Not obviously, just
yeah, no, I get it. There's a spy. All right. Garibaldi. You're in the computer core, correct? Hello. You are still muted if you're trying to speak.
Yes, I am in the computer core. Sorry.
You are looking at all outgoing communications, correct?
Yes, I'm to a thorough examination of our communication systems.
Reason security difficulty 2 assisted by the computer's security from the ship.
Okay.
Um,
Give me a
Complication range of 3.
ouch.
Sorry, I mean, I had a lot of threat there.
I understand. This sounds like something where investigation would be a good focus.
Yeah, I'll take
All right,
that.
I'm gonna use my join talent to pick that up and
Okay.
give you a threat for bold, so I can activate bold, and then use it to re-roll that cob.
Why do you roll 20 when up the complication range? So self-defeating. The ship is actually a complication.
Is it?
Yes, complication range 3.
Oh, I forgot to. You're right. I forgot to up the thing.
You gain 3 momentum. There's a
All right,
comp.
so I'm gonna spend 2 of them to squash that comp.
Okay. As you go through all the logs, there's actually not a whole lot. There are the logs when you arrive. There's communication logs between you and the ship, Faye and the ship when you were at the Quathian homeworld. There was communication logs prior from when the Ranger left DS-17. So before before you even stole it. And there is communication logs with the Admiral going to these sensor array stations, which were just one way in like a brief, callback, like, failed connection type stuff. And then obviously the ship, continuing ship that happened today.
All right. That was the place to start. Garibaldi's going to start. I'm glad the Defiant class is a small ship. Garibaldi's going to start at one end of the ship to the other and begin searching for tracking devices, listening, surveillance device. He's looking for spy stuff, basically, tracking devices, listening devices, unregistered communication devices. He's basically doing an in-depth security sweep of the ship.
I'm not gonna make you roll for this because you spend a ton of time on it, and that's kind of like the complication. It takes you a very long time to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Several hours. to the point where you're almost exhausted and you don't find anything.
And I will head back to the bridge then and report to Arif.
My office, GQ.
Guess I'll go to.
Just real quick though, because that took several hours.
That's fair.
Obviously, Arif is, you've been sort of monitoring Faye, and she goes, "Oh, I think I could use a muffin." This diagnosis is going to take a little bit. Like, it's like, I'm gonna head to the mess hall if you don't mind.
Oh, excellent. Actually, I'll be honest with you, Faye. I'm a little worried. Just because of where we are. Do you think there's a chance that you could just use the bridge replicator? Um, it's just as good. I've already had two today.
Sure. And she walks over to the replicator and orders a turkey sandwich. And
Oh, that smells good. Can you make it too, Faye? I'm sorry.
you want you want mine?
No, that's you know what? You were recently injured. I'll grab it and I'll walk to the replicator and get myself a turkey sandwich because that's a good choice in any time.
I'm gonna say the admiral left to check on the Empress and the other senator who's probably been wailing around in his small cabin. Several hours of this, pass. Obviously everyone's pulling a double shift. When eventually Garibaldi gets on the bridge. Doctor, is there anything that you were doing during that time?
Yeah, I was basically doing a ship diagnostic to make sure everything was working out, like power systems, engineering, especially shields, basic stuff.
Yeah, everything is working out just fine for the patchwork that you've done.
Okay. But there's nothing that seems to be interfering or changing the systems in any way.
Nothing's interfering or changing with the systems in any way.
All right. I make my clean report to Arif at his console on the bridge.
You get
Nothing
a
out of the ordinary.
thank you, doctor. Actually, you get a thank you, doctor, with the doctor's strike through, and it says temporary chief engineer.
Great. All right. Otherwise, I go back to the bridge eventually.
All right. But I believe Garibaldi will be arriving probably before you, since both tests kind of took a while.
Everybody's just gonna walk on the bridge, heavy lid and eyes, just look, get Arif's attention, then just kind of shake his head like no.
With a bit of a frown, I'll kind of do a head jerk towards the office and say if you could keep an eye on the bridge for me, Sarah. Actually, um, yeah. Uh, and I too will head for an area to speak a little bit more privately.
Everybody will follow him.
So you found nothing?
Not a thing, boss. I went through the I went through the computer comm station, the computer core, and then I went aft to stern and checked the entire ship and found nothing.
Remembering from the princess, I'll say, what's your gut tell you?
I think I think we don't have to worry about Faye. But my judgment's not all that great when it comes to women. I remember that Orion I brought back to the station?
You're supposed to be a spy, GQ. That's a
I'm
pretty
telling
big.
you, worst spy in Starfleet. Um,
Starting to believe it, but um, perhaps that's good enough reason for a career change, but that's for another day. Um,
but honestly, the it seems really like a convoluted plot for Faye to be our opposition at this point. I mean, I chased her down, just got her to admit she was working for somebody that I'm fairly certain was trying to kill her. God, I mean, lucky shot on that portable hologram transmitter. I think she's being straight with us. She's probably more on the run than we are. And I gotta wonder, I just don't know about this covert team we ran into. If they're, my guess is they're Starfleet intelligence. And maybe they're here doing the same thing we are, but that seems out of character a bit.
and it
That's,
doesn't explain the destroyed munition monitoring stations.
well, yeah, it does. It's what I do, especially if I didn't have a cloaked ship. And with their sensors, I might still have done it. I'd have been I'd have been a lot more careful about leaving Federation phaser traces behind than they were. But their actions aren't far from what I do. But my concern, and I may be way off base here, is because this seems a little out of character for Starfleet intelligence, a little. I gotta wonder if this team we ran into is working for whoever was running Faye, which could be bad.
What do we know about them? Do we know anything?
Not a damn thing. I know. Well, not there. I think I know that it's someone fairly high placed in Starfleet Command, or at least got access high up in Starfleet Command. The only time I was ever got a chance to hunt down their transmission protocols, I got to a relay station in the Sol system. And so at
Either
least
way,
part of this conspiracy or whatever it is in Starfleet.
well, wouldn't be the first time. Uh, a refill mutter, but be that as it may, whether you're right or not, I don't think we can predict whether or not they're allies or enemies, so I think we have to not count on them as allies.
I agree with you.
Okay. Then let's continue on. Let's give Faye the benefit of the doubt for now. I'll send a message to Mountain when we get back to the bridge on those regards. And you look like you could use a couple hours of rack time.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
But tell you what, if I stick my feet up on the tactical council and take a nap, don't dock my pay.
Only on the condition that you deactivate the fire controls first.
What you saying? Someone wouldn't believe me if I said I accidentally shot them?
No. Remind me to show you my T-shirt collection, GQ. I've been there and done that one.
Well, at least you've never been shot in the back by your own forces. All right, I'm going back to my station. I'm gonna take a nap at my station.
Very well. I'm gonna stay in my office for a minute, replicate a big hat, um, head out to the bridge, throw it on Garibaldi's head, and take my chair.
The Garibaldi will draw the brim of the hat down over his eyes so he can sleep better. As long as it's a fedora, has to be a fedora.
But for a spy, what else?
On the bridge where there's only a couple people left. Are they acting strange to you? This Faye talks to Vogel.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
She asked if you thought they were acting strange.
With Garibaldi, who knows?
Just with a reef asking me to keep running diagnostics on the propulsion system is a little weird.
Well, the engines, if things go sideways, is the only thing that's going to get us out of this.
Well, hopefully this will all be over soon. Of course, we have to find a spot to hide somewhere. Think the Klingons would take me in?
Well, you certainly fight like a Klingon.
Fair enough. think I would do so well on Romulus. I think I'd be even more paranoid there.
Well, the Romulans do give a whole new meaning to the phrase paranoid. Although you could always follow a Reef's backup plan.
Stay here.
Work in a bar. He mentions it every so often.
To be honest, I still kind of want to see the galaxy a little bit. I guess that's, being on the run, it's a good way to see the galaxy.
I mean, sure, if you never wanted to stay in the same place. I guess I understand that better than most. That is why I joined Starfleet to begin with.
Well, anyway, if anyone else has any roleplay they wish to do, we will go to the next scene.
I'm good.
After doing some finagling, everyone gets at least some rest in before they arrive in the system in question. Should probably put his token back on here. As the ranger, as sort of Faye announced, dropping in over the edge of the system, sir.
Thank
Sorry,
you, Faye.
a reef.
Thank you, double Faye. Let's take a look and try not to get noticed.
Reason science, difficulty of 2, assisted by the ranger sensor science.
Is this for Scanny?
Yes, scanny.
Of course we don't have momentum. Take a threat. Reason science, you say?
Yes.
Someone have ship?
Did you give me a threat?
Yeah. I'll re-roll one of mine with the technical expertise.
Game 2.
Looks like we have a 4-planet solar system. Second planet appears to be M class. I'm also detecting 11 Coathian ships and 1 space station in orbit of the second planet.
Do me a favor, Sarah. Forward that information to the Admiral's console. And, Admiral, if you could tell me if you recognize any of those.
He looks over the configurations. They're ours. Should be safe to proceed.
Excellent. Admiral, that space station, how capable is it of repair work?
Capable enough to perform repairs.
Can you put in a rush job for this ship? I think we both know that, well, we're not simply dropping you off.
I'll make the appropriate arrangements.
Excellent.
If you don't
Sarah?
mind, I would like to hail them to let them know we're friendly.
Absolutely. If you want to just, Sarah would be, sorry. Sarah, I'm sure would be happy to set it up for you. Um, GQ isn't still sleeping, is he?
You know what? I'll spend 2 threat to say he's asleep in his chair.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
He woke him up yet?
Thank you so much. I'm gonna go replicate a few slips of loose leaf paper. And I'm gonna wake him up by crumbling it up and throwing it at him because why not? He looks ridiculous.
Hey, I'm sleeping over here.
Well, not anymore, GQ. It's wake up time. Take a look at these readings, and the Admiral's on the horn, letting them know that we're friendly. Why don't we get the dock up here too?
Hey, there he is. What, shields and weapon systems up just in case this is a trap?
Not yet, GQ, but let's be ready to hit the button. We're still a ways away. Um, let's let's keep shields charged, but not ready. Let's keep weapons offline. Besides, if this becomes a firefight, we're not going to win anyways.
True, but this will take trouble with us.
That doesn't give me any satisfaction, unfortunately.
Well, somebody has to be the nice guy around here. You've kind of got that one locked up.
Then let's just all be happy our positions aren't reversed.
I don't think you've got it in you to be a mean person.
Oh, there was a while there in my youth. No, there really wasn't.
Yeah, I was going to call bovine excrement on that, boss.
Oh, hey, excellent. If this whole thing goes to trial, perhaps I can call you as a character witness.
I'd be more than happy to if they catch me.
Oh, if they catch me, they're catching you.
I run faster than you, old man.
Well, I guess that's correct on both counts. I can't say anything about it.
No, I ain't gonna outrun Starfleet security. I just gotta outrun you. I think we can both outrun the doctor, though.
Fair. So then we'll have to rescue him. Plus, I think Sarah over here could probably best us both.
Probably. How's it coming on that communication, Admiral? We getting shot at or what?
We're clear to proceed inside the system.
Sarah, Faye, let's let's get on with it.
Aye, sir.
You proceed inside the system. It's relatively quick. It's quick. It's a fairly smaller system considering the star is um a smaller class K star. And I'll throw you on the map. And you eventually get to the second planet system and currently see the various ships in orbit near a station.
How's it looking on those repairs, Admiral? Can we make dock?
They've cleared a docking berth for us.
Thank you, Admiral. I think at this point, hey, if there's any upgrades you can throw in there, that'd be wonderful. Maybe take a look at the cloaking device, and uh, it might aid us in the future. Especially if you guys can figure out a way to beat your anti-cloaking devices.
Well, if nothing else, if we're going to keep up with the Galathian fleet, we might need a slightly different FTL drive.
Certainly to avoid such a consideration as last time.
See what we can do. And as the ranger gets closer to the station, how to say, Vogel, your sensors start, your console lights up as it starts detecting multiple gravitational, or gravitational and subspace anomalies appearing.
Commander, I think we're about to have company, and a lot of it.
Admiral?
They're detected as
Start-
well. They're they're on alert status, and
Get us out of here. Or certainly behind the planet. Find us somewhere to hide.
Your body raises the shield.
14 additional Kuathian vessels suddenly jump nearby.
Arms at the weapon systems, arms at photon torpedo bays.
There are no
Red alert.
torpedo crews.
Those are probably automated on modern ships anyway.
Just
Yeah.
want to be clear.
Sarah, find us a place to hide and watch.
Yes, sir.
As you're doing that, though, there is an incoming hail.
For us,
Your body will answer the phone.
and
It's being broadcasted.
no harm in listening in. What do you say? Let's receive for now, but let's not transmit anything.
So on screen,
Please. Ew.
my fellow Kuathians and dear sister, who I know is here. You and the Admiral are to surrender immediately, and I will spare everyone here. We must continue. We must end this futile family feud. And perhaps I will grant leniency for your atrocities that you've committed. Any ship attempting to flee the area will be hunted down and destroyed immediately. You have 5 minutes to reply.
Well, that sounds like a load of horse meat to me, doesn't it? What about you, Admiral?
It appears we're going to fight it out here and now.
You know your ships better than we do, Admiral. What are the odds what odds are we looking at here?
Station is well defended. If we can bring his fleet towards the station, we'll have a fighting chance. Depends on how much reinforcements he has, though.
How quick are quick repairs?
Unfortunately, there's not enough time to repair this ship.
Admiral, it's my inclination not to give the princess up, and at the moment I have to believe, at least until the battle is further along, she is safer on this ship than she is on one of yours or the station.
And while you're talking out, we'll go to the next scene before we start closing out the session. To back to Deep Space 17.
my office.
Yeah, where Admiral Keller has taken technically his office back for the time being, as soon as someone is AWOL.
It's nicer than you left it.
As a sorry, I chime at the door, and the Admiral asked for him to come in. Commander, please sit down. So, Commander, Abeptu, can you tell me what are we looking at here? Well, Admiral, unfortunately, if we ever find the Ranger and Commander Reef and the others, we'll be facing some heavy charges. Dereliction of duty, theft of a starship, along with the illegal salvage of a Klingon cloaking device and the use of it. They'll be lucky if they spend their entire lives at New Zealand, to be honest, Admiral. Understood. Well, welcome aboard the station. I was hoping our informal meeting would have been on better terms. As do I, Admiral. I'll be filing the JAG incident report immediately. It says, someone from Ops chimes in to the Admiral. Sir, we're receiving a Priority 1 message from Earth. It's encoded, sir. He nods. Commander, we'll have to discuss this later. And he walks out of the office and leaves. Put it through. One second. A few moments later, sorry for the delay. Another individual appears as Keller kind of straightens up his uniform jacket. Admiral Keeson, when it's not ever to be expecting to hear from you in my entire career.
Admiral Keller, did I catch you at a bad time?
No, I was just discussing some things with my JAG officer. It's been a long time, Sam.
It has. Unfortunately, I don't have my Sorry, I'm blanking on words at the moment. I don't have my club hat on today, Admiral. Hate to add another thing to your plate, but I've just been informed that Federation Council member Zero Neoni has requested a budget review and wishes to head to Deep Space 17 to review this in person.
With all due respect, Sam, this is not a good time. There's a lot of impending fires currently that are brewing. I can't really guarantee the council member's safety.
You know how these council members are. They won't take no for an answer. I guess you'll just have to add another fire to your list.
Afraid you're going to say that. When is the council member due to arrive?
We have redirected the expedition to head to the Sol system to pick up the counselor. We expect them to arrive at Deep Space 7 in approximately 2 weeks.
I'll have the security arrangements in order for you. For the congressman or council member, sir.
It's good to hear. Now that the business is taken care of, when do you expect you're going to see yourself back on Earth?
As soon as I trade in my pip, sir, for a fishing pole.
Well, I was able to get a membership at St. Andrews. Think we might have to play a round or two when you get back.
It's been a while since I picked up a set of clubs.
Well, you better start practicing.
I think my back will thank me later on it. Sam?
Very good. Let me know when all the security arrangements are made. I'll let you know if I can do anything to take some of these fires off your plate.
Could use a half dozen more ships, to be honest, but pirate activity is up. But we'll make do. Which, well, I'm sure you're already aware of, given your position.
Well, with the council heading there that way, I'm sure probably the 7th Fleet will probably be sending a few ships out that way. Beefs up security in the region.
Well, then I welcome their presence.
I'll give you a list of which ships are being diverted temporarily.
Understood.
If only we could keep all these counselors in one place.
Well, they do like to feel important, sir.
Just be glad you're all the way out there and not stuck back here.
That's the whole reason why I still have the pip, sir.
All right, Admiral. Talk to you later.
See you soon. DS-17 out. And with that, we'll bring the session to a close.